full name?
Here, I'll put it down.
You say it to the camera. We don't have to write it down. Just say your full name to the camera. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. What is your full name? What is your full name?
Oh, you want me to tell her?
Tell her.
Morris Mo Antikol.
Okay.
And my Hebrew name is Moshe Ben Chaim.
Okay. Were you named after anyone?
I was named after my grandfather
Where and when were you born?
in Tyrone, Pennsylvania.
When?
When were you born? When were you born?
June the 1st, 1919. That's before you.
Yeah. What was your father's occupation?
He was, well, he was he dealt with farmers buying cattle. Then he had a slaughterhouse where he had people killing the animals. It was not for kosher meat, for non-kosher meat.
When did you come to America?
No, not her.
When did he come?
He came from Latvia in the year 1906.
Where did you live as a child?
I lived in Tyrone, Pennsylvania, till I was 6 years old. And then we moved to Altoona because Tyrone didn't have a synagogue or a place to learn Hebrew. My dad wanted me to go to Hebrew school, so we moved to Altoona.
Okay. Did you have a favorite Jewish holiday?
No, I observe them all. Yeah.
Okay. What was your occupation?
Sales. Still sell.
How did you come to Altoona? You already told us that, didn't you?
I didn't walk. I guess when we moved to Altoona, that was in 1927. I remember my dad had a 1923 Ford sedan. So I guess we drove from Tyrone to Altoona. The roads weren't that great. There was no macadam. They were all dirt roads.
Okay. I understand that you worked in a store called Schulman's. Would you like to tell me about that?
Yeah, I spent 42 years of my life with Schulman's. And then we also, when I was 65, Schulman's went out of business, and I thank God that I had my health. I went in business for myself, and I sold all over the United States. I was connected with Standard Oil Company. They had 138 truck stops, and I sold every one by phone. I used to go to New York every 2 weeks, pick up deals, and the purchasing agent from Standard Oil Company would send me orders. The people who had the deals send the merchandise out for me. So actually, I was like a broker. I still have my invoices, merchandise broker. And at my age now, is 87, I still do selling. I do screen printing on t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, and I sell coal miners' boots. They still have a few mines where they're buying coal around this area. Yeah.
Do you remember Yana Barrel?
His name was Yana Barrel Henderson. He was very, very religious. And he used to read the Torah in a Gudachacham synagogue. And he never shook the hands of a woman. He always shied away, and he was a little shy. If he needed to ride somewhere, he would stay in the middle of the street. Somebody would pick him up and take him somewhere. He never drove or anything like that. He had one son. His name was Morris. He lives in Pittsburgh, and he also used to sell Passover ingredients like matzah and things like that to the Jewish people around Altoona. You know, years ago, they call it Fifth Ward now, and that used to be mostly Jewish because they used to have an Orthodox synagogue on 18th Street and 13th Avenue. Then they had the Agur Achim Synagogue where it is now. Then I understand, before my time even, they had a Talmud Torah on 13th Avenue and about 19th Street, where a lot of people years ago, they changed their places of worship because they always had arguments. And also this, the Yenner Bear Henderson you're asking questions about, it used to be 3 kosher meat markets in Altoona at one time. One was Swartz's and Burgers. There's a third one, didn't last too long. I think it was Brosgol's or something like that. But then when Burgers left Altoona, they sold the meat market to a man named Meskin. He was very, very honest and a tremendous good butcher. And he was a very intelligent and very honest man. And but then he wasn't too happy with our synagogue, so they sold the meat market, and he went to living in New York. But this, when he used to be a mashgiach is a man that oversees how you kill an animal or how you run a meat market. Yeah, in other words, everything has to be kosher. You know, you have to soak your meat in water, and so all the blood drains out. And unfortunately, Mr. Swartz butcher shop was not too clean, and him and Mr. Yenner Bear Henderson didn't get along too well. This Swartz used to kill chickens in the back, and then the blood on his white apron, he come up and cut the meat, you know. It wasn't, I don't think they'd be in business today. Then I remember as a kid, he had a bathtub in his window, and he used to sell fresh fish, you know. Yeah, everybody didn't buy fish in jars like they do now. They used to make their own, like the filter fish, you know. And the main ingredients they used was like whitefish and carp and what else they used? Mullets, yeah, to make the filter fish. I'm going back a few years, yeah.
Okay, do you remember if Altoona had a Jewish policeman?
Yeah, his name was Charlie Gindis. He lived on 14th Avenue near the synagogue and 17th Street. And on the high holidays, he used to make sure the women used to sit on the balcony of the synagogue, and he made sure they were quiet. But unfortunately, Charlie Gindis couldn't ride a motorcycle too well. And one day he was on a motorcycle going down the hill and he fell off. And I don't think he could read and write too well,